Good morning, good morning. What's going on, my good people? It's your boy Derrick Casey coming to you live from Dallas, Texas. And it is early in the morning, but I wanted to come on here and share something that was really on my mind and my heart, man. I just feel like this every video I come with, man, I'm trying to come with things that's gonna make you think, that's gonna have you reanalyze your life, where you're at, and build the courage to go out and be different, to go out and be different, do different. You know what I'm saying? To go and achieve the things, go against the grain of what other people are thinking, their opinions, all of those things, to go against the grain, to go get what you want. All right. So we're going to let Facebook do its thing, bring some people on. If you coming on here this morning, say good morning. You know what I'm saying? We about to do this thing, right? He said, this church house looks like a bedroom inside. Facts. That's what that's where we at, coach. We in the bedroom. The magic don't only happen with one certain thing, you know what I'm saying? We can bring value from this very spot, right? So so if you coming on, man, just go ahead and share the video, grab a cup of coffee, and let's chop it up this morning. Because like I said, I want to talk to you guys about something that's going to help you guys out. Because I see a lot of people that come to me that's frustrated because people in their life don't support them. They've been trying to build this journey for quite some time, and they feel frustrated. And I'm going to show you guys how to build a strong mentality to overcome all of that, right? To overcome those thoughts. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's okay to love people. It's okay to love people at a distance. Hey, good morning, Curtis. It's okay to love people at a distance, but it's also okay to outgrow the people in your life, because I'm telling you right now that the people that you start the race with ain't gonna be the same people that you finish the race with. Okay, and that was something that was hard for me to realize in life. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm all about people and taking care of the ones that are around me or whatever the case. Until I started to see that they weren't on the same level as I was and had the same type of mentality. And that's when I had to start changing things. So the question of this video, guys, is, are the people in your life a liability or an asset? Okay? Are they a liability or an asset? So you got to think about like finances. What's a liability? Very simple. Something that takes money away, right? It takes money away. So you're spending money out, but you're not getting anything from it, right? And then an asset is something that brings money in, right? So you invest money, but it's an asset. So it's bringing you more money than what you're investing, right? So that is an asset. So the reason why I was thinking about this is because you can put this and relate this to people in your life, right? The people in your life, are they a liability or an asset? And when I say that, are they a liability, what I mean is the people in your life, are they taking away from your goals and dreams? Are they tearing you down, not supporting you, telling you that you're wrong, that you're crazy for these ideas? Are they trying to pull you further away from your dream? Or do you have people in your life, right, who are pouring into your dreams, the goals that you set for yourself? Are you having people who are encouraging you daily, people who are motivating you daily, that's right by your side when you hit those walls and those obstacles in your life? Instead of them talking down, they there to lift you up, right? So that's what I want you guys to focus on during this video, is because it's time for you to start looking at the people that are surrounding you. And I'm talking anybody. I'm talking from your spouse, I'm talking to your friends, your family, your coworkers, all the people that's around you. If they are not on board with supporting you, it's okay for you to move away from that. Okay, now I know from your spouse, it's something that's hard. You just can't move out if they not. You just can't move out like, oh yeah, I'm done because you don't support me or whatever the case. But here's the thing: you can't even let your spouse stop you from being great. You can't let your spouse pull you back and hold you back from going out there and achieving things that could put you and your family in a better position. I'm telling you right now, man, for years, me and my wife used to bump heads. We used to bump heads because I was here with what I was trying to do. She didn't understand it, so she wanted to play it safe. Stick to your job. Well, I don't know why you investing money. This is crazy. How we know you gonna make that back? All of these things, like just always saying like things that were like discouraging. And when you with your spouse, that's the one person that you want in your life to support you, right? But I knew that there was something greater out there. And I knew for a fact that I just had to keep working. So day in and day out, I was bumping heads with her, but I just kept working. One thing is, guys, and I'm gonna give you some advice here. If you are in a relationship, whether boyfriend, girlfriend, or you are married, you need to sit down with your spouse and you need to break down the game plan to them, okay? Break down the game plan to them. They may not believe it. They may not be supportive. They may kind of shove you off or whatever the case. Sit down with your spouse, explain the game plan, explain why you're passionate and why you're excited about what you're doing, and let them know your game plan in doing it. Give them a timeline. Hey, if we ain't making no money in this time, I'll fall back or whatever the case. But during this time, I need you to support me during this time because it's something that's very important. I see a vision that can help take our family somewhere else, and I'm going for it, okay? Now, even if they don't support you in that moment, that's okay. You lay down the foundation. You set the expectation. Go get it. Go get it. Because here's what I learned. If you include your spouse and let them know the game plan, right? At least they know what's going on. My problem was because when I felt like she wasn't supporting me or whatever the case, right? The thing is that I decided to kind of cut her out and just do my own thing. I was like, you know what? I ain't trying to hear that. I'm over here. You keep that negativity that way. And I'm just going to do my own thing, right? But you can't do that in a relationship because you guys are partners, right? You guys are partners in a relationship. So I learned that I needed to go to her and I needed to explain to her why I was so excited and passionate about it, even if she couldn't see my vision at the time. When I got started, guys, and I started going to work, I hit some ups and some downs. She would take little jabs. Oh, where's the money at? All these different things, right? We all been through it. But I kept working because here's the thing. When my wife started to see all the hard work that I was putting in, all the time that I was sacrificing and everything, and she started to see those results, slowly but surely, her mindset changed. Slowly but surely, her mindset changed. And she became more supportive. She started seeing that it wasn't just something I was talking about. It was just something that, I just thought was fun. She seen like, oh, snap, like he really doing this and things like that. So sometimes, guys, it's okay to go against the grain in your relationship if you have a vision that is going to take you and your family to the next level. The only thing is that talk with your spouse, lay the game plan out, and just go for it. Put your all into it and go for it. Because one thing your spouse is not going to complain about is when they start seeing the results of your hard work. They ain't going to come back and say, oh, snap, we got $3,000 in the account. I can't believe you was working this hard to make $3,000. You ain't never going to, they not going to complain about that. They will see that $3,000. They going to be like, oh, snap, $3,000 you did from that? Like, that really gets them in tune, guys. So don't be afraid to go against the grain. But like that goes along for anybody else in your life, your friends, your family, everybody. You got to go against the grain of what they thinking. Because right now, people have, listen, let me explain this. So many people have become comfortable with the struggle. They've learned to mentally cope with the struggle that nothing else outside of that makes sense. So they just live in life day to day, and they expect other people to live life the same way. And the people who have that type of mentality don't want to see people close to them go and do something different because they're afraid that you're actually going to see success that they're not able to see because they're afraid to step out of their comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just real talk. That's that crab in the bucket mentality. If I can't do it or I don't like it, I don't want to see nobody else do it. So they're going to say and do anything to discourage you, to stop you from doing that. Because here's the thing. The people with the crab in the bucket mentality cannot stand to see somebody that they were close to be successful. They can't stand it. Because when they had the opportunity, they said no. When they said it wouldn't work, all of these things, you went against the grain and you went out here and you made it work. Oh man, that gets under their skin because they like, oh, they went out there, they doing this. Now things change. People around you, if they are a liability in your life, do not like change. I'm gonna give you for an example. I got a really good friend that I grew up with. Me and him used to do music together. We used to travel. We used to be in the clubs, get girls, all of these things, right? But then it came a point in his life as he got older, he was like, I don't want that anymore. Like, I just want something different. So he turned his life to Christ. When he turned his life to Christ, them same people that was loving him, he was the best thing since sliced bread, all of this stuff when he was doing music, turned their back on him because he didn't want to be a part of that no more. He had a bigger purpose in life. So they started saying things like, oh, you're going to do your Jesus thing and all of this stuff. And during that time, it was tough for him because when you used to being around people, you done built a comfort level with people, being able to walk away from that to connect with others and do different things, it's hard. It's hard. And I seen him go through it, but he rose above all of that because he had a vision. He wanted more out of life, and he knew he wasn't going to get that with us just doing music and the stuff that we was doing. So he went for what he wanted. And then after a while, when people saw that they couldn't break him anymore, you know what I'm saying? When they was throwing all the little jabs and all of this stuff, they literally started to fall away. They started to vanish. And the thing I learned, guys, is that like when I was back home, that's what I was a part of. I was a part of people who had great ideas, but they just never had a game plan to execute those great ideas. You know what I'm saying? When I talked about things, it was always, well, that's too much money. Oh, that ain't going to work. Nobody going to want to sign up for that. Like, I went through all of that stuff. And I just remember feeling discouraged because I knew there was something better than me working a 9-to-5 for the rest of my life. And I was like, I need to do something different. I can't continue to be going on this same path if I'm trying to take my life to the next level for me and my family, right? So I had to fight through those moments and go against the grain against those people because those people were a liability in my life. But then what happened was when I moved from that area, right? And I moved down here to Dallas, Texas, almost 6 years ago. That's when things really started to change because I broke myself away from that environment. I wasn't around those people anymore. So now I had a fresh start. So when I came down here, I was really focused, like, getting me a job so that way I could get my family settled, right? But then I still had the vision of building my business and doing things. And now I had a chance to connect with new people, right? So when I started connecting with new people that had like the same mindset that I had, what I started to see was I wanted it more. Like it encouraged me to want it more. I started being around people that had already made millions of dollars, living that lifestyle. So then now, like, it really fired me up to want to do more because I wanted to achieve that. So now I got new people around me that turned into assets in my life because now they're pouring into me because they believe in me. They see what I'm doing. They see how I love helping people, things like that. So they poured into me to help me build, build as a leader in this industry, right? To become a coach, to be able to coach people through those tough moments. They poured into me. So now, when I look back at my life and I look at the people that I lost that I don't really speak to anymore because my mindset is different and I'm not there anymore. Now I'm thankful for the people that God blessed me with in my life today because of who they are, the same type of mindset, people that want to see others win, that not afraid to get out here and go get it, that's not living in fear anymore. Now my whole mindset changed. And because of that mindset shift, I've been able to do so much more now for my family and leading in that direction. Like, it has been an absolute blessing. It's been an absolute blessing. So the thing is, guys, you got to pay attention to the people that's in your life. That's in your life right now. From your spouse to your friends, everybody. You got to pay attention to them. Are they an asset or are they a liability in your life? If they are a liability in your life, you got to move away from that. You got to move away from that. You got to go against the grain. I'm telling you that right now, because if you don't, they're going to suck you back in. That crab in the bucket mentality is powerful because when you listen, I heard one of my mentors say it. if you hanging around 4 broke-minded people that always live on excuses, the people that don't want to do things, that always have negativities and all of that stuff, everything like that, eventually you are going to become the 5th person with a broke mindset. But when you bring yourself around powerful people who understand what it takes to be successful, the people who are not living in fear, that are not afraid to take risk, not afraid to go through those obstacles, when you got 4 of them people in your life, eventually you are going to become the 5th. Because when you surround yourself around those type of mindsets, guys, you have no choice but to elevate from that. You have no choice but to learn and grow from that. What can you really gain from the people with the crab in the bucket mentality? Well, there's a learning lesson in everything. You can learn what not to do, right? You can learn what not to do because you got a choice now. You can go and live your life based on your friends, families, co-workers, spouse, opinions, and be stuck for the majority of your life. Or you could break outside of that and surround yourself with people, go-getters, not tire kickers, go-getters, and you surround yourself with those people that's going to help lead you in that direction that you want to achieve for success. See, I sit here and I'm thinking about it. And the reason why because I was talking to one of my buddies from back home. I'm going to show you how crazy this is. Now, these are people that I grew up with that know me better than anybody. I've been around them, grew up with them as kids, becoming a young man, whatever the case, right? And when I moved down here, like the phone calls from the people that I was close to pretty much stopped. I don't really talk to too many of people back from home, maybe once in a while, right? But when I did get on the phone call with one of my buddies, they were like, oh, yeah, everything's good. People asking about you and people asking, oh, is Derrick still doing that online thing or whatever the case may be? So years later, after I done left and I'm living my life, I'm raising my kids, I'm doing what I got to do, they still back there doing the same thing, wondering if I'm still doing what I'm doing. Because now they praying for my downfall because they told me it wouldn't work. They told me I was crazy for getting started and all of this stuff. Now, years later, they still with that same lifestyle, complaining, that same job that they hate, not being able to get ahead, wondering if I'm successful with what I was doing because we weren't courageous enough to take action. They didn't want to believe me when I brought it to them. They shut me down. They told me I was crazy. They made fun of me, all of these things. And now years later, I'm doing so much better now. And now they still wondering. And they're not wondering that because they are supporting me. They wondering that because they want to see if I fail. Because then if I fail, then they feel good about themselves. And now they can say, I told them don't do that. Right? That's what the people that are liabilities in your life, that's how they think. That's how they think. They don't want you to win. They do not want you to win. Period. So you got to break yourself away from that. I'm telling y'all right now, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I would have stayed stuck around them same people. I would not be where I'm at today. Guys, I'm telling you, man, I got some of the most amazing people. I ain't gonna say names because I don't want to miss out on nobody. But I'm telling you right now, my team, the people that I'm with and rocking with day in and day out, I am so thankful every single day. Those people in my life right now, when I was hitting walls, when I was feeling frustrated, they didn't turn their back on me not one time. Not one time they ever turned their back. You know what they did? They made sure to encourage me. They made sure to keep me motivated. They made sure to make sure they knew how powerful I was when I was getting on those, getting on those videos and things I was sharing. They made sure that I stayed in the game. They was not they were literally like my friends, but my business partners, my friends, my brothers and my sisters, man, listen, if I ever came and said, oh, I'm done, they kicking my door in. They come into my house, they kicking my door in and they dragging me out the house and say, no, the hell you not. Them the type of friends you need in your life. When you at that edge where you over there thinking that you going to give up, you going to throw in the towel, them friends is going to be like, no, the hell you ain't. And they going to come pull you out and remind you why you got started in the first place. They not going to let you fall back. With our team, guys, with the people that I'm with, our slogan is no man or woman left behind unless you choose to. Because if you follow what we doing and what we show you, you ain't got no choice but to win. Because that's what we want. We want to see people win. We are tired of seeing people struggling. And the thing is that we're not putting in nothing together for the grown people, but y'all got babies. I got 4 babies. I got to be worried about what's going to happen for their future. Every time I get on these videos, guys, and I share my journey in this industry and things that I've been able to achieve, the obstacles, the ups and the downs, it's not for y'all to be giving me a golf clap, but it's to say, guys, I've been through the struggle. I understand it, and I was able to overcome it. It wasn't easy, right? It wasn't easy by any stretch of the imagination. But it damn sure was worth everything that I sacrificed and I've been through to get to this point today. And that's the reason why I get so fired up and so passionate to speak to y'all, because, man, y'all are sitting back and y'all basing y'all life on everybody else. Listen, stop seeking approval from people who don't want to see you win. Stop seeking approval from them people. First and foremost, you need to understand and realize your own self-worth. That's first and foremost. And when you start realizing that, when you start having that comfort level with yourself, when you are starting to have that courage with yourself, when you living fearless, God is going to bring the people in your life. He's going to bring the people in your life that's going to help you get there. He gonna bring the people. You ain't gotta go searching for them. He gonna bring them to you. Man, woman, whatever the case, he gonna bring them to you. So I'm telling you, this is a message for all of y'all, man. This is a message for all of y'all, man. Sit down and look at the people in your life. And ask yourself a question. Make you a list. Make you a list. Liability, asset. And you drop them names. All them people that don't support you, all of that, put them in the liability side, because all they're doing is trying to take away from your goals and your dreams. And then you got your assets. Make a list of people that's been pouring into you, that's been supporting you, the ones that's been motivating you, keeping you in the game, even in them tough moments in life. Make a list of them people. And that liability list, start checking them off and get them out your life. It's okay to love them from a distance. Ain't nothing wrong with a phone call. Hey, how you doing? How the kids? But moving forward, you got to be focused on them assets in your life and start growing with them. And that's facts. That's facts. Y'all can take this video and use it and be like, you know what, Derrick, right? You can say, Derrick talking a lot of crazy stuff. I'm going to stick with my friends. You do what you do. That's your life. But I'm telling you from experience what happened for me. And nothing changed in my life until I decided to get rid of the liabilities in my life and started focusing more on the assets, the people that poured into me, the people that believe in me and support me. That's when things started to change in my life. So you could be over there with the people with the crab in the bucket mentality, or you could be over here with the winners. But you choose. But years down the road, when you still stuck with them same people doing the same things, complaining about the same things, broke, struggling, still trying to look for answers, I'm just going to come to you and say, I told y'all about this back in September in the video. You should have paid attention. Should have paid attention. Because I see it happening all the time, all right? So anyways, I just want to come share that with y'all. I want to get that off my chest. Hey, what's up, Wilford? I don't know why I said that. He going to come in. He going to put in big, bold letters, capital letters. It's Lefty. I just looked at the name. Lefty, don't cuss me out, man. Hey, T, what's going on? What's going on? Let me see. We got Markia. What's up, Markia? We had Alethea. What's going on, Alethea? But yeah, it's time to get rid of them liabilities. It's time to get rid of them. Like I said, it's like finances. When you looking at your finances, you look at things that are liabilities and assets. If you got more, hey, listen. I corrected my mistake, Lefty. My bad. And coach, we don't need you over there from the peanut gallery messing with me. I had already corrected my mistake. I said it. I caught it. I said, oh, snap. Damn, Lefty. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. He said, "What?" T got a good question here. She said, "What happens when the liabilities are mixed in the group of assets?" That's a good question. See, you gotta learn how to shake and move, man, in here, because like I said, when they are even mixed in the group, you know what I'm saying? You gotta learn. You gotta have tough skin. Okay, you gotta have tough skin. There's a saying for people who are in addiction, right? For addiction. And it says that you are powerless over your addiction, right? Powerless, which means you give the power to the addiction to take over your life. It's the same thing when it comes to the liabilities and the people that's in your life, in your circle, is that if you give them, let me put it this way, can't nobody do nothing that you don't allow them to do. Let me say that one more time. Can't nobody do nothing that you don't allow them to do. So if you give them the power to discourage you, if you give them the power to come in and beat you down and make you feel like you're not worth it and all of that stuff, that's on you, because you gave them the power to do that. You sitting there listening to that nonsense. You over there putting your goals and your dreams on hold for some people that don't even care, or whatever the case. You gave them the power. So you are powerless over the people in your life. You're powerless. Take that power back. Take that power back. Stand on your own 2 feet. Because I can tell you one thing. Listen, I love all the people. If the people faded away, Derrick Casey can still stand up tall. Because I know who I am. I know my worth. And if people can't see that, if people can't realize that, if people don't want to be a part of that, I'm cool with that. But I will never give the power to somebody else to break me down. The only person in my life that could ever break me down like that, and that's the man upstairs. Real talk. That's the man upstairs that can come in and shake my whole world up. But I'll never let a man on this earth or a woman on this earth shake me down like that. Hell no. Never, not happening. And I know it's tough, but you know what? I'm tougher than that. I'll be damned. And I'm telling you guys that too. Stop giving people the power to tear your dreams down. Man, let me go get my damn charger, because my phone about that. Y'all got me fired up right now. Woo! Y'all think I'm playing games right now. Y'all got me messed up right now. Hold on, let me get my damn charger. I don't want this thing to die on me. Hold up now. See? Y'all got me fired up. Y'all done messed with the wrong one today. And it's Sunday too. Woo! Time to preach to him. Listen, I'm keeping it real with y'all. I gotta hold this phone like this. But listen, I'm telling you guys, man, you are more powerful than you let your mind believe. If you guys stop worrying about what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is saying, when you start doing that, guys, when you get to a point where none of that stuff bother you, you are winning in life. You are winning in life, straight up. Because that's what happened for me. I lived my life based on being a people pleaser. I was a people pleaser. I sacrificed my own happiness to make sure everybody else around me was happy, had everything they need, even if it came, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, T, you did that. I don't know why you did that to me. I was almost off. I was about to shut it down. My message was out there, and T asked that damn question, got me fired up. Now, I appreciate you, sis. Now, but check it out. Nah, but for real though, I spent the majority of my life being a people pleaser. When people was mad, I couldn't handle it. Boy, I was like, nah, what's going on? Let me talk to you real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what can I do to help? All these things. I did that, man, for so many years, and I didn't gain nothing from it. Not a thank you, nothing. But I continued to do it. And then I started to realize that, like, damn, like I'm giving and giving and giving, but I'm not getting none back. When Derrick hit dark moments in his life, you think them same people had that same mindset? Absolutely not. Derrick had to figure stuff out on his own. When I was struggling financially, when I helped so many other people out financially, and I didn't even wrestle with them about the money or whatever the case, when I helped them out, when Derrick hit tough times financially, you think them same people came to my rescue? Absolutely not. They didn't. And I know a lot of you watching this video right now, I know a lot of y'all watching this video right now have gone through the same thing with people in your life, that you've given up so much of your life, sacrificed so much to make sure the day was good, that when you got in them dark moments, them same people turn their back on you. And then the same people that most of you guys let discourage you and let tear you down and make you feel like you're not worthy of doing nothing. For what? For what? What are you gaining out of that? Get them out your life. Get them out your life. They not doing you no good. The saying goes, if we can't grow together, we can't chill together. And if they tearing you down, obviously you not growing, they got to go. They on the liability list. They got to go. They got to go. It's okay to love them from a distance. It's okay to still pray for the people who pray for your downfall. I ain't mad at none of them. I'm not mad at the people that turn their back on me. I'm not mad. I don't hold no ill will against nobody. I still pray for them because I want to see everybody win. No hate in my heart at all. That don't mean I gotta be around your ass, but I'll pray for you. That don't mean I gotta be around you. It don't mean we gotta talk every day, whatever the case. But I'm still praying for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm still praying for you every single day. I pray for everybody. That's who I am as a person. I'm just letting you guys know, man, you need to start realizing the people that's in your life. I be on Facebook all the time, and I see people posting stuff. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You gotta stop wasting time on the people. All these things, they be like just in their feelings when people not supporting them. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I had to go against the grain against my wife. My own wife. Butting heads every day, man. I coach people through that. I get people to hit me up. Men, hit me up, man. My wife ain't she ain't supporting me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do. I'm just had to get my business up. I like literally, and that's and man, y'all got me messed up right now. I don't know why y'all. Ooh, I feel it coming from. Hey, listen, let me tell y'all something. Check it out. The thing is that when you are in a relationship, if your spouse is holding you back, and years down the road, a choice, right? A choice that you could have made, right? A choice that you could have made that could have changed your life, but you stopped because your spouse didn't believe in it. And years down the road, you in the same spot. How would that make you feel about your spouse? Y'all want to ask me questions? Let me ask you one. How would that make you feel? How would that make you feel if you was trying to make a decision in your life, you in a relationship, right? Whether you boyfriend, girlfriend, or you married, and you went to your spouse shot it down. And you decided to let your spouse discourage you from going after something that could have took you and your family to a whole new level. And years down the road, that very decision that could have changed your life, and you stepped away from it because of your spouse, and now you in the same space, the same place, how would you feel about your spouse? You're probably going to have some type of resentment. You're probably going to have some type of resentment. Let me see. T-Back said, what she said? Just because you lost me as a friend doesn't mean you gained me as an enemy. I still want you to eat, just not at my... Exactly. That's perfect. Like I said, like I don't pray against, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't pray against the people, like go against the people. Like I don't argue with people no more. You know what I'm saying? If people don't believe in what's going on, that's cool. Like I'm at a place in my life, like I finally found that joy that I've been looking for, man. Like for so long I felt unfulfilled. You know what I'm saying? And now, like, when you get a chance to get a taste of what that success could feel like, you won't be mad at the haters anymore. You won't be mad at the naysayers. You'll be like, okay, that's cool. That's my mentality now. You know what I'm saying? That's my mentality. My mentality is, hey, you know what? We'll agree to disagree and I move on. And I'm still smiling. I'm still happy. I ain't mad at you. That just means that we wasn't meant to connect. That's all it means. That's literally all it means. But stop giving power to the people that don't want to see you win, man. Like, stop doing that. You are better than that, man. You are worth more than that. Like I said, every single video I put up ain't always got to be about business. It's about changing your mindset. Because when you change your mindset in life, guys, you can do anything that you want. Anything. When you change your mindset, it's crazy. We always thinking negative every single day. You know what the problem is with most people? When they set goals for themselves, when they have a vision, what they do is they create these scenarios in their mind of things that don't work. How it's going to be. I'm going to give you for an example. Right? Let's say we back in school. Big test coming up. You getting ready to take a test. You've been studying for that test day in and day out to prepare yourself. What's the first thing that you're going to think when you walk into that test? I'm about to fail this mofo. Man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Now, you know that you study. You know that you put in the time to rock this test out. And the day the test comes, you wake up and say, man, I'm not ready for this test. I'm going to fail this test. Why do you think people do that? Why do you guys think people do that? I want somebody to drop some answers below. Why do you think that even when you feel like you're ready, when it's time to perform, when it's time to go in there, why do you think people start thinking negative and telling themselves they can't do it? Come on, somebody drop some comments. We in here talking now. Y'all kept me on here. Let's get it. Come on, answer that question. Somebody drop it. Let me see. While y'all dropping answers, I'm going to be looking here. Let's see. Lefty said, let an ex almost curb me pursuing my pro volleyball dream. Resentment, depression, sadness. These are just a few of the emotions I went through during the time. One of the worst periods of my life. Come on, Lefty. That's what I'm talking about. Even a person that he was in love with, like his ex, that he thought was supposed to support him, tried to talk him out of something that he was truly passionate about. And look at the emotions that he just shared with y'all. Resentment, depression, and sadness is what he felt because he was in a tug of war between his ex and his dream, something that he was truly passionate about. When you're in a relationship, you should never be in a tug of war, especially if your spouse on the other side trying to pull you back to the norm. Shit. We better be on the same side, pulling our dreams and everything we want in the same direction. That's facts. Ooh, y'all got me goddamn fired up. Y'all messed up. I don't know why y'all came. Hey, Adrian, what's up? What's going on? Welcome, Curtis. All right, so the question that I asked is, when you know, so I use the example of going on, taking a big test. You study for this test. But why on the day of the test you start thinking negative? I'm going to tell you the reason why. The reason why people start thinking negative is because they can't handle rejection. They can't handle when they are failing, when they fail, right? So the thing is that if you mentally, check it out, if I tell myself that I'm going to fail this test, that I'm not going to do it, when it happens, it's not a surprise to me because I already set myself up to believe that I'm not going to pass this test. But if I pass this test, then it's a bonus because I didn't expect to pass this test in the first place. That is straight facts. And I know that's true because we all done it. How many of you guys walked into a test
told yourself, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. Are you nervous? All these different emotions. And then you go into that test, and when you pass it, you are all surprised. Well, you shouldn't have been surprised because you prepared yourself for that test. You studied day in and day out to go in and fight for that test. There's no reason for you to think negative or think anything different. You feel what I'm saying? That's the mindset that we have. We try to already mentally prepare ourselves for our failures before we even take action. I mean, that's just how it is. My bad. Hey, T, my bad. Oh, let me read these. I'm gonna get to them. So T said, yes, Wilford. Okay, this is in her text. So don't say nothing, Wilford. Lefty, shit. I said it again. Lefty gonna cuss me out. So listen, she said, yes, Lefty. I heard this from a guy yesterday. Pro basketball and baseball. He married a girl because she was preggo with twins, gave up his career, and the kids were named after him and weren't his. He felt just like you, said Lowe. So exactly, he had goals and dreams. He married her because she was pregnant, so he felt like that's the right thing to do, right? And then he goes in, and now, he finds out that these kids wasn't his. So on top of her not being supportive, that's like a double slap in the face. Woo! Man, that's a double slap in the face. T say, bro, you should have answered my text then. So now I'm finna drain you with your knowledge. Hey, absolutely. I've been sorry, I know I've been away a little bit. I've been back at the office training a new employee. So when y'all don't see me like on Facebook quite a bit, it's because I'm at the office. So I'll be real busy throughout. This is my last week of training. Then I'll be back and y'all see me a lot more. So no worries. I'll be back. No worries. Say, wow, so true. Lefty laugh. I know next time I talk to Lefty gonna be like, the next time you call me Wilford, the next time, say it one more time. Say it one more time. You know what I'm saying? Say it one more again. Ooh, say Wilford one more time. She said, my ex was using our daughter as bait as well. Yes. Wow, man, y'all on it today. Hold up. So that's another thing too, is using children as bait. Okay, the thing is, guys, and I want you guys to understand this, you're gonna have to make sacrifices. Okay, when you become an entrepreneur, you're gonna have to make sacrifices. Your business is not going to build itself, or whatever you want to do in life. It's not just going to happen by you not taking action. You are going to have to make sacrifices. Now, it's tough because, like, for me, the problem that we was having with me and my wife was she was saying I didn't have enough time, right? So, because I was working a full-time job, and then I come home, I be with the babies for a little bit, but when my phone rang, I was getting to the phone because I'm building a business, so like I have to be readily accessible. But because my wife wasn't on that level with me, she couldn't understand it. All she saw was I wasn't spending time with the kids or enough time with the kids. But when I was telling her, I was like, well, when I'm at work all day long, I don't have all the time in the world to just be on the phone freely. I'm working, I'm doing things, whatever the case. So I literally had to sit down with her and have a back and forth discussion, kind of seeing what her expectations were, what my expectations were, and how we could meet in the middle. Okay? So that way you can satisfy your spouse, because yes, although you're making sacrifices, you don't want to take all of your time away from your family. Okay? The reason why you building the way that you building so you can gain more time. But right now, in the beginning, while you building, you got to sacrifice a little bit of time. But find times in between to make it just about them. Put the phone down. Stop thinking about business and make it about them. So if you put in that time throughout the week and you busy and you got a day on the weekend, tell your family, hey, we putting the phone down and we going to do something, whether it's out to eat, going to do something fun. And then that way you kind of help in between those times, because now they know they're going to be able to spend time with you. I'm telling you, that helped me out tremendously. When I started looking at my schedule and the things that were going on, and I realized that it's not just about me. So even though I'm building,
my wife, she has thoughts. She want to be able to spend time, have time with the kids. So I'm like, how can I make this all work? How can I balance this all out? So what I ended up doing was, you have to sit down with your spouse and talk to them. Come up with a game plan that works for everybody. You a team. You are a team at the end of the day. Sit down, come up with a game plan. You know what me and my wife did? Me and my wife, let me show y'all. Let me show y'all how it works. Go get you a big ass calendar. Write down what's going on for the month. We got calendar here. Hold up. Let me show y'all. I'm going to walk y'all out. Been doing laundry, so excuse the clothes on the table. I got to put them up. But hold up. Get you a calendar, guys. Look, we got a whiteboard calendar. Look. We got it all over the place. Why? The reason why we got that is because that keeps us organized. That keeps us organized, so that way we know what's going on for the day. Not just for myself. My wife is in college. The kids are in school. They got extracurriculars. So now we can actually, now we can game plan throughout the month. So now that we know that we're busy, because we understand that we are busy, right? But now we see it on there. So there's no way that anything could be missed. So if I got anything for my business, I make sure I put it on the calendar. Here's another thing. You got apps on the phone, okay? So if you're in a relationship doing y'all got a busy lifestyle, there's an app called Family Wall. And you can actually share your calendar with your family. So everything that you got going on, not only do you got calendars on the wall, but you got an app that pops up alerts when things are happening. So now when I sit down at the beginning of the month, I already know what's going on for the month for me. So everything that I already know, I sit with my wife and I have her put that on the calendar so we can see what days we have open, so that way we can make sure we have family time in between. But then when we got things where she got exams and stuff like that, the kids got school and things, now we are able to game plan together. That's how you become a power couple. That's how you put things together. You got to write shit down, if that helps. Because just talking about it, so much going on in life, things going one ear and out the other. But since we've been doing this, ain't been no arguments. It's days I forget I got something on the calendar, and my wife be like, oh yeah, you got that presentation tonight. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks, babe. You know what I'm saying? All because we came up with a game plan that works for everybody. Let me see what we got here. T laughing. Let me see what Coach said. Coach said, bro, even though your hair not growing back fast, Coach still. You know what, Coach? You shut your ass up. Leave it alone. T said, oh my God, went through this too. And the person is an entrepreneur with a business too. So I couldn't understand why it was a huge deal that I was doing so much to build myself up. Literally had to stop my business and only stay up late to do what I could do, and got scolded for staying up and not sleeping too. So that's just one of those things. You got to be able to try. Like I said, guys, this worked for me and my wife. Go get you a big ass calendar, whether it's a whiteboard calendar, whether it's one of these paper ones I just showed y'all. Sit down with your spouse and write everything out that comes, because now when it's like in our life, if it's not on the calendar, it don't exist. If it's not on the calendar, it don't exist. So if you know ahead of time that something come up that you didn't put on at the beginning of the month, you make sure to put that information on the calendar, so that way it helps you see what's going on. So that way you're not over planning things, you're not doing stuff that you don't need to be doing. It's all lined up. It's all lined up. Let me see. Curtis said, I went through this exact thing and it cost me my first marriage. So you are right on point. I appreciate that. Listen, I'm not speaking to y'all on some stuff I've seen on Google, and I'm like, all right, let me pull out my notebook and give you some tips and tricks here. So step number 1, this is what that's not that's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to y'all about things that happen in my life, things that I struggle with. Real talk. In hopes that y'all can use it as leverage to kind of help y'all make better decisions. You know what I'm saying? Make better decisions. Trying to find that work balance, that business balance, and family balance. So that where everybody happy, where you feel like you still putting in the time you need for your business, you're doing your stuff for work, but you still got that time to make sure you spend the time with your spouse, spend the time with your kids, and you can do all of that throughout your week. But you can only do that if you plan it out. If you plan it out. I like that. If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. Got it. That has helped us. Because if I forgot, you know what I'm saying, if I forgot to put something, because my wife, she adamant about the calendar. So say I want to go and play basketball with one of my friends. If I didn't put it on the calendar on Saturday, I just woke up and say, hey, by the way, I'm about to go shoot some hoops, and it wasn't on the calendar, she's going to be like, well, you didn't tell me. And I know things come up. or whatever the case. Y'all can talk about that. But for the most part, if you can put it on your calendar, so that way everybody knows what's going on for the month, it makes things so much easier. It makes it so much easier. All right. But I'm just telling you guys, man, you gotta find ways to be able to stick to what you're doing. Stop giving power to those people to tear you down. Stop doing that. Stand on your own 2 feet. Realize your own worth and watch God bring people into your life that truly matter. You ain't got to go chasing after them. You don't got to beg and plead those people to believe in you or whatever, because they gonna see it for themselves. Ken stupid. He said, well, let me throw up my 3-step process I just got off Google. That's what a lot of people do, man. They read stuff on Google and they're like, oh, well, this world-renowned person said that these are the 3 steps. I'm a realist. I just come from what happened in my life. Like I said, I will never claim to know everything, but things that I do know, things that I was able to change that helped me out, I bring that right to you guys, so that way you guys understand like what it's all about. Let me see. Lefty said, got a scoop, bro. Thanks for the gems as usual. Gave me some things to think about and work on for this week. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. If you walk away from this like, yo, I gotta think now. Derrick got me thinking. That's what I do this for, man. That's what I do this for. So, anyways, I got to get going anyways. It's T's fault that I stayed on here longer, because she asked that question and got me fired up. And then y'all started bringing some really great points to talk about. I think this is a conversation that we definitely need to continue. All right. I don't think this is the end of this one. I think we need to really dive deep and actually bring some people up that's been struggling with this, because there's a lot of people that's struggling in these areas that can utilize some tips and tricks and some things that can help them overcome these challenges of being in a relationship or being linked to other people that's tearing them down, and how to strengthen their mindset to overcome that, guys. I think we need to bring this to the table, come up with a game plan that can help some people out. Okay. So that's all I wanted to come on here and share with y'all, man. I appreciate you guys. A lot of great stuff. I'm actually going to be taking some notes from this live, so I can actually come up with some more content to really be able to talk and dive deeper into this subject right here, okay? Because this is going to be the game changer for a lot of people. Because this is one of the biggest obstacles I see when it comes to people not supporting them and all of that in their business. I see it all the time. I hear it from people all the time. And I just want to be able to find ways to help them overcome those challenges, to keep them in the game, keep them pushing forward, even when these type of things come about. Okay. So with that being said, love y'all, man. Y'all are amazing. Coming on here this morning, chilling with me, man. I appreciate you guys. And I hope that you guys have a blessed day. Today is football Sunday. I'm excited because I get a chance to watch some football today. Sports is back. I got tired of watching old bowling matches on YouTube. Don't laugh. Okay. Because y'all probably was watching some weird shit on YouTube as well, okay? I was so deprived from sports. You know what I'm saying? I was so deprived from sports, I was watching old bowling matches, okay? Don't judge me. But anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And stay tuned, guys. Lock into my page, man. I'm going to be bringing a lot of great things to you guys. I'm getting my YouTube channel built up. It's going to be a one-stop shop for you guys to be able to get these videos and stuff. So just stay tuned. I'll make sure I get you guys all the information. But I look forward to connecting with y'all soon, all right? So that being said, I am out of here. Got to get going. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.